Hi, I'm Beth, and this video is brought to you by Handy Quilter and the Moxie machine. I love the look of straight line quilting on my quilts, but I want them to be precise. Using rulers can help you get those really accurate, nice straight lines. When using rulers, you need a couple accessories for your Moxie. The first thing you need is the Steady Fit ruler base. This gives you a stable surface to support your ruler. Next, you'll need a Surefoot. So here's the standard foot and here's the Surefoot. You can see it's much taller. That gives you a nice bumper to run your ruler along and ensures that the ruler won't slip under the foot. Stitch in the ditch is a great way to define different sections of your quilt when you're quilting. Handy Quilter has a great ruler just for this purpose. So this is the ditch ruler, and it's got these little alignment tabs on either end, and those are going to help you get your stitching right in the ditch. So because the needle is a 1/4 inch away from the edge of the foot, this will help you line it up. So you can line up the tab with your seam, and then when you're running this along your ruler, you're going to get it exactly in the seam. Another thing that helps is if you are stitching on the low side of the seam. So when you are pressing seams to one side, you have one side that's a little bit higher. So these seams were pressed toward this border. And the low side is where you want to keep your ruler and keep your stitching. That way it'll nestle really nicely down into the seam. And if you want your stitches to be even less noticeable, then try using a slightly smaller stitch length. Maybe try 14 stitches per inch. And of course, matching thread would also blend in much more, but I'm using some contrasting threads so you can see what I'm doing a little better. Be sure you have a good grip on the ruler and stop and readjust often so you always have control of the ruler. I wanted to add some diagonal lines coming out from the stars. I think it gives it a really nice sense of movement. The grid lines on the ruler can help you keep evenly spaced lines, so just line up the desired mark on the ruler with your previous line of stitching and you'll have the perfect spacing. I wanted to create kind of a cornerstone design on the corners, so I'm quilting a little disappearing square design here. So you just define the edges with a square first, and then as you get to the corner, then you're going to go to the next side of the square, but you're going to move in a little bit. So it just kind of gets smaller and smaller as you go towards the center. I think this design really echoes the print of the fabric and really gives me a boundary for my borders as well. When you're quilting, the right tools make all the difference. Using rulers can help you get those nice, precise, straight lines that you just can't get freehand. Be bold, be creative, and quilt with Moxie. Learn more at handyquilter.com/Moxie.